I did it. Hey guys. It's me again. Coming to you a little bit later today. I woke up late. You know what we talked about? We talked about some weeks ago about me and my my weird way of laying the opposite side and not with my head at the headrest, and then I swapped to the headrest. Well, ever since then, have I been sleeping too well? Because I can't stop sleep. I sleep until, you know, way past noon now. And I know it's my own fault for going to bed late, but it's so hard for me to wake up. It's like, I couldn't keep sleeping before, and now I just can't wake up. Well, I wake up. It's like, I feel so good. It's so good. Right. It might be so us streamers, sometimes we have this idea of let's reset our schedule, and we stay up all night and then we wake up late, or we go to bed after like a 24-hour. I might have to institute one of those soon, just to flip. So maybe I'll do that over the weekend or something. I might try it. It's just, it does actually work, but then you have to maintain it afterwards. Kind of forgot to do that last time. I don't know. It's fine. Anyways, today's topic. Hey, Noogie. How do you get to 100 without dying? And how do you find the motivation? I should say the question was yesterday. How do you find the motivation to push to 100? And it's mainly in relations to the, I mean, it's a topic of conversation right now because, find it for you, the button that is, because of this. Because I am, to make myself here, boo, look at me, big guy. I had a little document here because you like that as well. Bum bum bum. Right. I am level 99.69. Nice. Totally didn't mean to do that. I actually didn't mean to do that, but I guess that was just when I wanted to go off yesterday and go to bed. Apparently. Nice. Okay. So, let me give you some tips and tricks here. So, I play SSF and I've hit 100 on SSF a few times before. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. Within a given league, it's more like, is it something I'm aiming for? Is it something the build is capable of? But this is kind of where my tips are gonna come in handy, because the reason why I don't always level to 100 is because it doesn't always make sense to me. But yeah. So my first tip when he asked me was this: don't think about it. And I think, as much as that, you know, that's easy to say for me because I also have extra time. I can be a little lazy, and I play games for a living. But even when I wasn't playing games for a living and I was at school, I had very much the same mentality in gaming. You know, I'd like to push for the big things, but I didn't really mind that it took time because, you know, there are other things to, like, if the game itself is fun and you're having fun and investing time into it is fun, then this level 100 becomes it's important, I think, if you want to make it a natural process from league to league, you cannot think about it too much. It naturally has to flow into it. Otherwise, it starts feeling like a chore, and you overthink it. Like, once you hit that 99, you start thinking, oh my god, I know how long this level is. I remember it from last time vividly, how I just had to sit there. And you start to recall all these like memories of you just, oh, I'm grinding. Ah, just one more map. I hate this. It's like, you know, when you're out for a, like, let's say you go to the beach and you're out for a swim and you're swimming around, you take breaks in between and it's fun. Versus you're, competitive swimmer and you're doing like the stretch, right? And you're like timing every lap, and there's like 48 laps to go because you're doing this endurance test, and it's like, oh my god, 47. Oh, 46. Oh, will this never end? And this like never end mentality where it's like every single lap is a struggle. That makes it difficult. Right. So there's a few ways I've done it to 100. So I've done it SSF, I've done it in a group. Those are the two ways. I've done it. Have I done it on trade? But without being in a group? No, in trade it was pretty much always in a group with aura bots and stuff. Yeah, and then my first SSF was on the summoner. Right, so you can do, so there's a few tips. If you're not SSF, let's say you're just a regular, do it with friends, you know? Get a group together that just likes playing on a regular basis. And you map. And you share some of that load of, you know, setting up maps. The tedium parts of the actual setting up the map. Like, let's say today I'm going to be the designated mapper. I'm going to do everything in regards to maps. And everyone else can just, like, pick up the things and do that. The next day, you can swap it around. Or figure out what it is you like most. Do you like the setting up the mapping process, but you hate the picking up things? Maybe you can find someone who's the opposite, right? And you do that. Let's see, what else have I written down? Have an OP crazy strategy. Breachstones. Pure breachstones. You know? Just level through breachstones. Just put in breachstone after breachstone. You know, play the game, start accumulating wealth. And look at what you're accumulating as not currency, but XP, right? Because you could have it that these exalts could just be turned into XP, and they can. But it's not on, they don't just get turned into XP because you get loot out of it as well. But you can be a little cost inefficient. You can you could just hold steady. If you have a ton of currency, just buy breachstones. Sell the stuff you get from them, buy more breachstones. You know, once you get to that 98, 99. And then you're like, okay. And then you can have a day after where your XP doesn't move and you're just accumulating wealth again. And then you buy breachstones. And you'll have gotten like 5% and then you maybe get like 20% in a day from your breachstones. And then within a week, you're 100. Like we're what, a month in? I played the Exsanguinate character first, which honestly was a fine character to go to 100 if I wanted to, but I kind of wanted to like try something else. I went to the Burning Air character. I mean, a Burn Prolife dude can go to 100, but they just weren't fun, right? They weren't really that fun to me to play. So it's important that you're just enjoying yourself as well, and that's kind of where we go back to the don't think about it part, because you have to be able to enjoy yourself. I mean, if the only thing you ever want in the game is to just go to 100, well then once you hit that 100, then everything else will just not feel like anything anymore and you'll probably quit, right? But if you are just having fun every day, it'll feel much less like a chore. And get out this idea, I think it's important that not every character needs to go to a 100. And in that, I think we'll go to like the prepared advance here is probably like, that's like the breachstone strategy, or the harbinger. What's the harbinger map called? The breachhead. Breachstones, breachhead, juicing, like setting up juice and doing like Valdo stuff was like a thing as well. There's like all sorts of like good strategies. You could make an experiment. What if I'm doing experimenting with just doing breaches? It might take forever and you're like halfway through like, oh, this sucks. Or you could do like the flash breaches, make them better, make like a strategy out of it. I can tell you this, Jun and Betrayal is actually great for XP. So if you're constantly running 83 Jun missions, great for XP, right? But now comes another point. Make sure your build doesn't suck. And so what I mean by this, I mean suck in the relevant sphere of going to 100. if you're playing a Herald of Agony Juggernaut with -5 movement speed, you can't die to any boss, but it takes you 5 minutes to spin on the boss, and he always dies. But a map takes you 5 to 10 minutes as well, because you're running at -5 movement speed. Don't get into your head that this build is going to 100. Because, man, what a terrible build to go to 100 on. There was only like, I played a build like that, and I would say there was one strategy where something like that works, and that's when you have crazy content that requires crazy strong characters that last a long time per instance. Simulacrums. I played a Herald of Agony guy in Simulacrums, got him to like 98 point something. But then all the clicking just kind of ruined my shoulder. But we'll talk about that whole like shoulder thing and health in another video. What I'm saying is that the only reason why I got him to that high level is because these things give you 20 waves of reasonable into insane XP at the end. So if you just make it to the end and you clear it to 20 every time, well, you're getting good XP. And these took a long time. So when a strategy like that is available, you can play a build like this. But like, look at the character I'm playing right now. I'm playing this character. Like, let me just throw in a map real quick. Then you get to see how this looks as well, I guess. I'll just take, I want some sort of a linear map to show you. What's like, let's just take a shipyard real quick. Mirrored shipyard. I'm not gonna juice it on up at all. Right, it's just the watchstones. We'll do this. Right, so this is, and this is like, you can out and go like without juice or anything. So a character like this, right, where I'm kind of just like, you know, you tap the screen, you run really fast, and there's basically, you feel like it's just smooth as butter. And this, like, I can juice my maps, and the maps look pretty much the same, except if like to Beyond and Harbinger, where there are just mechanics in there that take longer, but they also give you more XP. And then I would say for this league, make sure that you're playing a build that can just like, you know, kind of sit in here, you know, in 16s as well. And you're not really worried about it. I'm barely like looking at my screen right now, because I know that this is so comfy at this point that I can basically just sit and stand still in here, and it's like whatever, right? I'm not even thinking like. We aren't really thinking about the character anymore, or like this down here. We're just like, oh, this thing. Oh, what about that loot? And I have these like side goals of things as well. Like, what am I upgrading next? This is the good thing about crafting. The good thing about crafting is that even if you have good gear, just search for better while you're leveling. Right? Don't settle. Just make sure that the only thing that matters is not this thing, because if this was the only thing, each single percent is gonna feel like the longest journey you've ever been on. It's like thinking about leveling to 100 is like thinking about, you know, it's like sitting in a classroom and thinking about when is the next break, and you look at your clock. It's like, oh shit, only 2 minutes passed. Oh shit, 5 minutes passed. Versus having that nice day in class where it's like, oh shit, we're having a lot of fun today. Whoa, ding, 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 and the bell rings like, oh, what happened? It's all like time is already up. But yeah, just get out of your own head. Accept that it's okay not to go to 100. Make strategies around it. Make the journey fun, and play something that's fast. Like Raider for this league, great. I would say is a great recommendation for me. I think stuff like Trickster and, I mean, Elementalist, just because, you know, you can set up those like Ignite Prolift build. Ignite Prolift builds are really comfy because you like plop, you know, you plop the damage down, and then anything that enters like this whole area just dies over time every time. So find builds that naturally progress towards 100 easily. Like Gladiators, because they have natural boom booms. Chieftain is an awful one to level to 100 on in general, because it's in an area with no AoE. Last league I leveled a Transcendence guy to 100, and you know how? Because I had the other goal of delving to like 1000 plus, And when you have a goal like that, then you're naturally getting through the steps down. Obviously, I made a very tanky character with his the same thing as like the delirium strategy. Since I keep going down, it gets harder and harder, but I never die, and I just keep trucking along. And eventually, because I'm in a high XP zone, I am getting to 100. So yeah. You can do it with friends. You can have a crazy OP strategy. You can prepare in advance and make sure your build doesn't suck. And I think, yeah, don't let it like overtake, you know, like your mental place when you're leveling to 100, because then that's when it becomes tedious and boring. So yeah, just have fun, guys, and enjoy yourself, and then you know, the journey becomes so much better. Anyways, I'm gonna go level 200 on stream. Hey, and that's that. See you tomorrow. Bye.